I spent my whole life basically playing victim, and it's not because I wanted to be a victim, but it was because as a child, I was a victim of abuse and pain and maltreatment, like a lot of people are. And when you are a child that grew up with complex trauma, you end up being accustomed. The norm that you live is literally chaos and instability. But what happens as adults is that when we grow up like that, we then get addicted to suffering without even realizing. And so, yeah, of course, you're not going to want to be in a relationship with shitty people and have friends that suck and are douchebags. But if you are subconsciously addicted to suffering, if you are accustomed to chaos and your nervous system does not know the difference between calm and chaos, in terms of calm being a safe place and chaos being a not so safe place, our brain, our complex trauma brains, switch that around. And so we view chaos as comfort, which is why people who have been abused or who have experienced complex trauma are attracted to patterns that feel familiar to their nervous systems. And so when you start to notice what patterns and what behaviors you are subconsciously doing without even realizing, you'll start to recognize that there are patterns that come up that are common from when you experienced maltreatment or uncomfortable emotions. When you think about the relationships that you've been in, I want you to look at what common factors are showing up and how you have contributed to being in certain positions or situations. When your nervous system is so accustomed to abuse or accustomed to unresponsive emotions, not being emotionally available, not holding a safe space for authentic connection, all of these things feel very scary to us because we haven't experienced them. But the more regulated and the more healed you are, and not that there's a spectrum of healing, but the more of the healing work that you do, the more awareness that you bring into your life, you will start to recognize that patterns repeat. Patterns show up over and over again until we are ready to change that pattern. When you realize that you are addicted to suffering, there's this layer of confrontation that ends up happening with yourself of having to be super honest. Like, there's two options that you have. You can either choose to ignore it and pretend like you are not part of the problem. Not that there is a problem, but you know what I mean. Or you take radical responsibility over your own actions and your own behaviors and your life, and realize that the more awareness that you have around these things, the easier it's going to be for you to change them.